love rage bait. It's just a fun way to troll people. So for those of you who are misinformed, rage bait is basically deliberately doing something or saying something to annoy someone. It's like if someone said to you, they like to listen to Little Pump.
Stop the cap.
That right there is rage bait, because no one likes listening to Little Pump. I don't even think Little Pump likes his own music. So rage bait like that is very obvious, and it's very rarely you're gonna get someone mad from rage baiting like that. But knowing when it's rage bait isn't always so clear. Like the Beabadoobee not being able to sing. And in my personal opinion, I feel like Beabadoobee is alright at singing. But the dilemma is that she's going against one of the greats in YoungBoy, which leads people to say that Beabadoobee can't sing. But if you're a highly intelligent individual like me, you can see that this meme is sly disrespecting YoungBoy, suggesting he is unable to sing. That's why they put opera voice on top of his voice. But as a self-appointed YoungBoy representative, I would say that NBA YoungBoy is very capable of singing. Just listen to this masterpiece. Okay, that was absolutely terrible. But you see the point of rage bait? People deliberately posted AI generated clips of YoungBoy singing to make him seem like a bad singer. It's just like when people say I'm ugly. It has to be rage bait. Because who wouldn't find a sexy caramel chocolate man like myself attractive? So when people call me chopped, I already know that shit is rage bait. But some individuals aren't as self-aware or as handsome as I am. So they don't always understand when something is rage bait. Because someone like Beabadoobee, in all seriousness, is not a bad singer. Is she a one-hit wonder? Well, that's a debate for another day. But she is definitely not a bad singer. But instead of using discernment, she decided to crash out on majority of the internet. And I'll be honest, it wasn't even an outrageous crash out. Because I'd rather her call her fans broke than end up like a Lil Durk. Like at least with Beabadoobee, she's probably gonna go viral for a couple more days and then people gonna forget about it. With Lil Durk, he completely fucked his entire career and his entire future because of the one phrase, get back for Von. Like I don't know what was going through his brain. Did he think he could get away with it? Did he think we could bail him out? Did he think this was GTA where he could just hide under a tunnel and the stars would go away? And FYI, I was not in Lil Durk's comments. I do not give a fuck about Lil Durk to be in his comments. I would rather watch paint dry than interact with Lil Durk. Okay, you know what? Let me slow down now. Lil Durk is probably a very cool individual, but his music is absolutely terrible. So keep me far away from that. But for the people that were saying get back for Von, they just really wanted to see Lil Durk crash out. And Lil Durk fell for the rage bait. And you're probably noticing a trend. It's always artists involved in some form of rage bait. Like look at Kanye, the king of rage bait. Like this nigga was rage baiting before rage baiting was a thing. Like don't get me wrong, on his Twitter, he does be saying some crazy shit that I do not agree with at all. But some of the other shit, yes it's crazy, but it's most definitely rage bait. Because some of the things he thinks of is wild. Like saying a certain German leader is fly. Like it's no doubt that that individual was one of the worst people of all time. But to call him fly is something so flamboyant, so spontaneous, so rage baity that only Kanye could cook up. Like who the fuck thinks about that? When you think of that individual, the last thing you think of is fly. But somehow Kanye's brain thinks towards that and decides to say that on Twitter. And not only did he have no right to say something like that, there was no logical reason to say something like that either. But he still said it. And people actually fell for it. Understandably so. And I understand why people would be mad. But you can't lie, that nigga is a great rage baiter. Like remember when he said slavery was a choice? He had no reason to say that either. That shit doesn't even make sense to me. But still, he somehow managed to come up with it. And people fell for the trap once again. Because slavery and choice are just two juxtaposing things. They don't even make sense with one another. So if you fell for it, you're an idiot. So don't be like no Beabadoobee and start crashing out over some rage bait.